What's going on, everybody? It's Matt, the FF Mediators, and with the Face Off Sports Network, back for another rookie profile, this time on the tight end from Bowling Green, Harold Fannin Jr. Harold Fannin Jr. was the MAC Player of the Year, a consensus All-American and captain of his team. He weighed in at 238 at the Senior Bowl. He's 6'3", and man, he is my favorite player in this entire class. I've had an absolute blast watching his film, and I can't wait to show you guys a couple plays and tell you a little bit more about Harold Fannin Jr., but let's just jump straight into it and let's take a look at his stats for this season. He had 1,555 yards on the year, and that was first among all tight ends in FBS. And that was actually an FBS record for tight ends, too. He had 117 receptions on the season, too. That was first among all tight ends and also an FBS record. He forced a whopping 34 missed tackles as a tight end. And guess what? Also an FBS record, first among tight ends. The guy is a knack for catching the ball. He had 12 contested catches on the season, which was fourth among all tight ends. He was third in deep air yards. He's just absolutely everything you want from a pass catching option. And he did this over his 3 years at Bowling Green, was productive last season in 2023, but this was the breakout year, man. And he really, really showed it. And when you watch on film, he did it against some of the best players in the league too. Here we see him a little bit against Texas A&M, one of the biggest games on the season for Bowling Green, and he absolutely balled out. And he did that against Penn State too. Those were two of his best games of the season and arguably the best two defenses they played. Against Penn State, he had 11 catches for 137 yards and a touchdown. And against Texas A&M, he had 8 catches for 145 yards and a touchdown. The guy has no problem doing any route, in-breaking, out-breaking. He catches absolute everything, and he can make people miss. He's got that breakaway speed that just somehow finds a way to work up to the end zone. He had 10 touchdowns this past season, 17 total touchdowns in his career at Bowling Green, and his receiving grades are just absolutely extraordinary. I mean, when you really step back and look at his box scores on the season, it's really impressive considering he had so many games. He had 8 games with more than 100 yards, 5 games with more than 10 catches, and just only 4 drops in his career with over 180 receptions and a ton of targets. I mean, the guy is really, really productive. I know he's coming from a smaller school, but that shouldn't scare us too much. The biggest question for him is, can he hold up on the line and can he block? Now, the good news is he can be moved around. He's really comfortable playing all over the field. We'll probably see him used as H-back, out wide, in the slot. He had 139 reps in the slot this past season at Bowling Green. So he finds a way to stay on the field, and he was a key playmaker and their absolute best player on that team too. So I'm really excited to see what team ends up drafting him. He's currently falling a little bit below some of the other names like Mason Taylor, Elijah Arroyo, Gunnar Helm, Colston Loveland, and obviously Tyler Warren. But for me, he's my tight end too. He's up there. It's Warren, then Harold Fannin Jr., and then Colston Loveland. And I like all 3 of those guys. This is a deep class at tight end, but Harold Fannin Jr. is a player that we need to keep our eye on and see what kind of capital he gets. The biggest thing for him is going to be the combine. Can he run a good shuttle? Can he run a good 40? Because that's going to help him a lot. Because right now his biggest asset is get him the ball in space and let him work. But if he can find a way to somehow block and stay on the field just a little bit more, he's going to be a heck of a player. And in rookie drafts right now, I'm drafting him all over the second round wherever I can get him in mock drafts. I can't wait to see what capital he gets to see if he's going to stay in that range, maybe move up a little bit, but I wouldn't really expect it to go too much higher. A lot like Ben Sinnott last year, he's going to sit in the back of that second round unless he gets some sort of crazy investment from a team, which I hope he does because I cannot wait to draft him. But let us know below what your thoughts are on Harold Fannin Jr. What's your favorite tight end of the class? Let us know if you have another player we should look into, but be sure to catch up. Subscribe to the Face Off Sports Network, and you'll see all these other rookie reports and plenty other Dynasty and fantasy football content all the time. Until next time, we'll see you then.